I'm a brick. I woke up this morning to check my video like I normally do when I post a video because I think it's cool, part of being a YouTuber. I see that it's posted 9 hours ago. That's unusual for me because I usually post about an hour before I wake up. This was posted 8 hours before I wake up. So I accidentally posted my video at midnight, but that's not even the worst part. I go and check the top comments. It says, the 7 minutes of silence at the end are truly an artistic masterpiece, really encapsulating the... I don't actually know what they said, but I checked the video and I'm like, oh my gosh. I exported the video, uploaded it to YouTube, and didn't notice there's 7 minutes of black screen there, bro. Oh my gosh. So I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the 7 minutes of black screen on the last video. This video is actually my first match as a Netherite player. I know, kind of cool. And if I lose this match, I'm not a Netherite player anymore. So honestly, I wasn't too worried because I was on the craziest win streak of my life. So I thought, you know, might as well keep pushing it until I lose. But I'm playing Meebe, somebody who is dangerously good. I don't know what my record is against him, but I usually lose. You know, has he had world record blind trap? He's had some crazy achievement. He had a second place time in RSG maybe a year ago. Just an absolute monster of a player. So I'm trying to decide where to go here, and I take this upper terrain through this ravine. Kind of almost instantly regret it because I'm doubting myself, thinking, is this the right move? Should I be going up this random ravine? I think it was actually the good move. I think I saved some time on Meebe here. But I started this video off saying I'm a complete brick. I wanted to talk a little bit about vocabulary, vernacular. I think cultures is kind of interesting. Also tying back to a video I posted recently. It was the no F3, no calc, hardcore speedrun. Apparently calc is a bad word, bro. I mean, in speedrunning, I'm referencing no calculator. Let's be clear here. I still don't even know what that means. Isn't culture weird? And then the older that I get, the more things you see. I was reading an email from a family member the other day, or somebody was showing it to me, and they were saying, isn't this so funny? White shirt guy is using this funny lingo? And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me read this email. I read it, and it seemed almost completely normal. The things in question were him saying, bro, I was freaking cooking today. I was chillaxing. There were really only 4 things that felt like sort of modern culture. Basically saying, bro, I'm cooking. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm in so deep to the culture that I just don't even notice what other people find weird. But then I get those examples like putting calc in my title and just absolutely having no clue that is potentially a bad word. So maybe I'm still oblivious in a lot of sense. But I do think it's something interesting to pay attention to because basically everybody thinks that the younger generation is just weird or wrong. I remember when people started saying, bro, that's so sick, this is lit. Older generations who don't have that in their vernacular are, there's almost a default to think it's wrong. And I promise I'll get to a bit of a story. Something that I think highlights this is I was in the car with my dad the other day, and he was talking about music. And he said something to the extent of 80s music is just the peak music. They knew what they were doing. They had more meaning behind their words and their music. They were more intentional. It was just better. I sat there. I didn't really want to start an argument or like debate, like whatever. But I sat to myself thinking, I don't think that's true. Just flat out. I think people today are not any worse at making music or less intentional or less deep. And I think in the past, there were also musicians and songs that weren't very deep or didn't feel significant. And I just find it interesting to acknowledge that culture is always changing. You know, life is always changing. One of my synonyms with the word life is change. That's really how I think about it. You know, I got a Hank Green video in my recommended today that was talking about Cyber Monday and Black Friday. And I think there was a statement in there that he said, you know, Cyber Monday, it just doesn't really make sense. The word is just so bad. It's an outdated term of how people 20 years ago thought about the future. They thought cyber meant sunglasses that fully encompassed your head instead of a stainless steel refrigerator, or something to that extent. The point he was making was just a funny commentary on the word Cyber Monday and how it's just really dumb to use the word cyber. The word Black Friday comes from a way that companies keep track of if they're profitable or not. If you're not profitable, you're in the red. If you're profitable, you're in the black. And Black Friday is the day that everything turned to black, aka you become profitable because of all these big sales. And I just think, you know, yeah, maybe the word cyber is from an outdated era that potentially sounds weird, but that's just kind of how culture works. It's weird until it's been established for a long time, and anything new, any sort of saying or any way of speaking is only weird until it becomes like embraced by the larger culture. You know, I think a good example of this is language in general. You ever listen to the Gettysburg Address or read the Declaration of Independence? They're still speaking English. It's still American culture. That is not how we speak today. And it's just something that slowly changes over time. Languages is kind of interesting. And there's so many different subcultures and languages, even accents or the way that you talk about grammar. My dad was, he has like an English degree. And I remember from an early age, it was probably just one conversation, honestly, where people are asking like, how's your day? You say, oh, my day is good. And I remember one time him mentioning, you know, technically that's not proper grammar. You should say, my day is going well. My day isn't good. My day is doing well. And lots of the time, I still say that, yeah, I'm doing well today, instead of I'm doing good today. But most people say, I'm doing good, and you understand what I'm doing good means. And the definitions of words slightly change over time. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't, I don't know. It's kind of a random, wild rant. Where did this start with? Oh yeah, brick, I'm a brick. I just think that's a funny saying. I picked that up probably from Feinberg, you know, talking about competitive events, and if you're doing bad in an event, you're like a freaking brick because you're sinking the ship, I guess. You're a heavy object that's kind of letting down the team. I think that concludes all of my thoughts on language in that subject. Shall we move on? We're currently still in that match with Meebe. I'm doing really well. Honestly, very happy with how I played this run, except for freaking hitting the ceiling there. I still have a decent amount of food here. We're not terribly far off of coordinates, and I just felt like I was playing really well. I honestly haven't played much since this match, just because I sort of don't want to fall out of 2000 elo, but if you don't play ranked for a week, you start decaying. So I'm gonna have to play anyways, and I really need to start playing. It's so interesting, dude. The times that I feel the least motivated to do something in life are the times I'm doing the best at it. I'm talking about YouTube here, I'm talking about speedrunning. When I'm doing well in speedrunning and I've won my matches, I just feel good. I feel like I've done it. I don't want to keep doing it anymore. Same with YouTube. If I have a video pop off, I don't want to keep going. The time I felt the most demotivated with YouTube was when I hit 1 million subscribers. That was also just a big sort of, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life, existential crisis. But in general, when I have a video do well, I don't really want to keep posting because I think, oh, I kind of did it. I'm chilling. But when a video is doing bad, I think, oh my gosh, I gotta follow this up ASAP, immediately. So I've been thinking about that a bit. You know, I had a conversation with Jared the other day. He came over, we did a sauna session. We were talking about YouTube and success. Honestly, I've not been prioritizing the RecRap 2 channel really at all. Just, I don't know, for a lot of, that could be a whole commentary in itself. I've just really liked posting on this channel, my speedrunning channel, RecRap 1. It's so fun and awesome. And I don't feel this need or pressure to keep posting more bangers or to make more money. I literally have had a video on lifesteal that I've been working on for multiple months of week 1 of the server, bro. It's getting to the point where I should just really get it out there. And I guess the breakup happened too, so like that made me not work on videos really at all. But I've just kind of had it sitting there because I've really enjoyed making these little speedrunning videos. I feel like I'm going back to the roots of my YouTube. I'm just posting all the time. I'm trying out new things. It's a good time. Anyways, I guess that's the life summary. Life is freaking awesome. Hope you're enjoying life. It's almost December, Christmas season. Thanksgiving was yesterday. I guess probably don't know where I'm going. Okay, I should probably end it. It's a black screen now. Okay, bye guys.